Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 1, Unit 4.2 Notes. Today we're going to be talking about solving multi-step inequalities with variables on both sides. Our learning target today is to be able to solve multi-step inequalities with variables on both sides of the inequality. So, what do we do when we have this? Well, with multiple step inequalities, the first thing you always want to do is you want to distribute or combine like terms on each side. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, move your variable to one side, and then once you're done, you solve using SADMAP, the reverse order of operations. Okay, and once you're done with all that, then we graph the inequality. Okay, so solve the following inequalities and graph the solution. So the first thing we have to do is we have to distribute. Negative 1/2 times p is negative 1/2 p. Negative 1/2 times negative 2, and negative times a negative is a positive. Half of 2. What's half of 2? It's 1. And that is less than or equal to negative 4. Okay? And now we just solve. So we have to cancel out the addition. You cancel out addition with subtraction. And you're left with negative 1/2 p is less than or equal to negative 5. And how do you get rid of a fraction? Well, you get rid of a fraction by multiplying by the reciprocal, which is just negative 2 over 1 or negative 2. And what did we multiply by? Well, we multiplied by a negative, and if you multiply by a negative, we have to flip the sign. Okay? So we got p is greater than or equal to 10. So, oops, there's 10, 11, 12, 9, 8. At 10, are we opened or closed? We're open. Let me write. Hold on real quick, guys. Okay, so as we said, we are closed at 10, so we got to shade it in, and it's greater than, so I want all the numbers to the right of that. Okay? All right, let's slide on over to number 2. Now, 2 might be tricky, but what we have to distribute is that negative 1 right next to the parentheses. Okay? So you have 7x minus 8 minus 4x is less than 13. Okay, and now it's just like solving a normal problem. You want to combine your like terms. 7 minus 3 or 4 is 3x minus 8 is less than 13. And now solve for x. So we have to add 8 to both sides because we're doing SADMAP. We get 3x is less than 21. And to get the x all by itself, we divide by 3. And we're dividing by positive 3, so we don't have to change anything. So we get x is less than 7. Guys, I don't think there we go. Gotta remember to do that. Okay, so 7 goes in the middle. We go 2 numbers higher and 2 numbers lower. So it's 7, it's open, and we shade to the left. All right. Number 3, we need to distribute. The left side stays the same, so we have x plus 3 is greater than or equal to negative 4 plus 2x. Okay, we have variables on both sides. We want to move the smaller variable And we get 3 is greater than or equal to negative 4 plus x. Okay, solving for x, we have to add 4 to both sides, and we get 7 is greater than or equal to x. And the only thing that's wrong with this is we want the x first. So from here, we need to rewrite. It's pointing at the x, so I want to make sure that the inequality stays pointing to the x. So 7, 8, 9, 6, and 5. Are we opened or closed at 7? It's closed, and we shade everything to the left. Okay, on the right. Nothing on the left side, but on the right side, we have to distribute that 4. Everything on the left stays the same, 2x minus 3 less than or equal to. We get 4x minus 4 plus 3. We need to combine our like terms. Negative 4 plus 3 is we get negative 1. Okay, so we have variables on both sides. Which one is smaller? Well, the 2x is, so I'm going to move the 2x to the other side, so we have to subtract that. And we get negative 3 is less than or equal to 2x minus 1. And now just keep solving. We have to add 1 to both sides. Negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. And now to get rid of the 2, we have to divide both sides, and negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1 is less than or equal to x. I'm just going to move up. I just want to move this right here. It's going to let me pick just this. Oh well. From here, we have to rewrite. Okay, so the x and then the negative 1. And it's pointing at the negative 1. The inequality is pointing at the negative 1. So I want to make sure it stays pointing at the negative 1. Okay? So negative 1's in the center. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. And 0 plus 1 is 1. And continuing that pattern, we go negative 2 and negative 3. So at negative 1, are we open or closed? And we shade to the right. All right, number 5. Let's keep it going. All right, so on the left side, we have to distribute the negative 3. So we get negative 3 plus 6y plus 17 minus 7y is less than 4y minus 11. Okay? Now, on the left side, there are 2 things that we have to combine. 6 minus 7 is negative 1y. Negative 3 plus 17 is positive 14. Okay? So now we have to move the smaller variable. And we get 14 is less than 5y minus 11. And keep solving. So now we're following the rules of SADMAP by adding the 11. And we get 25 is less than 5y. We're not done yet because we have to divide both sides by 5. And we get 5 is less than y. Now, the only problem from there is the variable's not first, so now we need to rewrite. There's y and there's 5. and it's pointing at the 5, so I want to make sure that the inequality is pointing at the 5. Two numbers higher, two numbers lower. Okay, now open or close at 5. We're open, and we shade to the right. Okay, number 6. Don't get scared because there's a fraction in there, and that's what we have to distribute. Okay. On the left side, we don't have to do anything. We get 5 minus 6 then. Less than or equal to half of 4 is 2. Half of 6 is 3. Okay, let's find our like terms. So we get 5 minus 6n is less than or equal to negative 3 plus 5 is 2n, and 2 plus 7 is 9. And then why don't you guys see if you can do it from here on, okay? Move the smaller variable and then solve for n. Go ahead and pause the video, and good luck. Okay, so when you're all done, first thing I did was I added the 6n to the other side, subtract 9, and then divide by 8. And that's where negative 4 over 8 is negative 1/2. Now the n was on the wrong side because we always want the inequality first. And there we go. So, graphing this. You do not count by fractions, guys. Okay, that's rule number 1. Now, where is negative 1/2? Well, if I were to graph negative 1/2, it'd be right there. Okay, because it's between the 0 and the negative 1. Now, are we open or closed? We're closed, and we want all the numbers shaded to the right. Okay? All right, let's move on. Now, unfortunately, my copy didn't print right, so I don't have the work for this next one. But there it is right there. Why don't you guys see if you can do number 7 all on your own? Pause the video, see how you can do. Good luck. Okay, so you distribute the 3 to the right side and you get 6x minus 15. Now on the left side, I combined the 4 and the 5 to get positive 9. And I looked at my two variables, negative 2x and positive 6. Well, negative 2x is smaller, so that's what I moved. Once my variables were on one side, I could follow the rules of SADMAP. So I subtracted 15, and then I divided by 8. Okay, so there are my 3 numbers, and I've got 3, 4, 5, and then 2 and 1. So at 3, we are closed, and I want all numbers greater, so I shade to the right. And that's it for number 3. All right, number 8. Okay, so here we go with number 8. On the left side, this is the first thing we want to do, is we want to distribute the 3. And when you do that, you get 3y plus 6 minus 2y plus 11. All of that stays the same. The 9 stays the same, but then once again, we have to distribute, and you're distributing the negative 5. Okay? So you get negative 5y plus 5 plus 5y. Okay? So on the left side, we need to combine our like terms. 3 minus 2 is 1y, and 6 plus 11 is 17. okay? Now, on the right side, we have 9 and 5, and then negative 5y plus 5y. Well, negative 5y plus 5y, those guys end up canceling out, and then 9 plus 5 is 14. Okay, so we only have one variable. It's already on the left-hand side. 1y is the same thing as y. 14 minus 7 is negative 3. So we went from having this really complicated problem to having it be something fairly easy. Okay, so there's my negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, negative 4, and negative 5. Okay, so at negative 3, are we open or closed? It's open, and we want greater, so we shade everything to the right. Okay, guys, that's actually it for 4.2. Now, if you have any questions or need extra help, please come in to see Ms. Carranza or myself. We would love to help you out. And your homework is actually the bottom of these notes, which aren't on my copy, but are on yours. Okay? So if you have any questions, come find us. Otherwise, this is Mr. Grice signing off for Algebra 1 Unit 4.2 Notes. Thanks for watching.